Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new to my craft room, then welcome. Today I am making some of these little shakers. I know I've been making a lot of shakers, but I bought so many of these cute little, these are called polymer clay sprinkles. I ordered these on AliExpress.com if anybody wants to check them out. And if you want them, you're going to have to order them soon because these things take about 3 or 4 weeks to get here. But these were 99 cents, free shipping. And I love these. There's thousands and thousands of different ones you can choose from. But these I want to use on the card that I'm going to make here in this video today. I had another bag that I used. Actually, these cute little sprinkles here that I had gotten from there. They're not that expensive. You just need to look. There's a lot of different stores on AliExpress, and you just need to find the ones that offer free shipping, and you're good to go. So 99 cents. You pay a lot more for this stuff. I mean, you can find it at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, stuff like this too, but it's much more expensive than that. But anywho, this is the one that I made. I'll just give you an idea of what we're doing here. And it's a card. It's a shaker card, but it's also like a little keepsake ornament for someone. I put a little hanger on the back of it here. This was an old card with Santa on it, and that's that second bag I showed you, little sprinkles in there. And I made this one pretty thick because I wanted to use those sprinkles and they have beads in them, so I made this one a little bit thicker. And then on the back I cut out a sentiment from an old Christmas card, and then I hooked on a piece of this baker's twine from Dollar Tree back here underneath that little sentiment. And then, yeah, and then you can just write on here to and from, write your little message, the year you sent it, whatever. And it's just a nice little keepsake. So I'm going to show you guys how I made this little guy here. He was a lot of fun to make. The one I'm going to do now, this is a Christmas card. Actually, not an old Christmas card, a new one. This was out of a box of cards that I got at Dollar Tree last year. And you know, everybody loves the red truck, so I figured I will do one with that. Then I have another card that I cut this sleigh out of. I'm going to do it another time. Not going to do that one today. And I thought this one would be pretty too to make one out of. So hopefully I get to these before Christmas time. Never enough time. So on my little paper cutter here, this is like a must-have when you're making cards or any kind of paper craft. And you can get these at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I think I ordered this one actually on Amazon. It's just a Fisker's paper cutter. And these things are wonderful if you need to cut out some nice straight lines, because I'm not all that great at cutting out straight lines. Oh, this is also from that card. I cut out the Happy Holidays that I can add on to a different card. I actually, in this box here, have a bunch that I cut out and saved. Did I take them out of here? Oh no, where did I put them? Anyway, somewhere I have a bunch of those little sentiments saved. I thought they were in this box. This box I got at Michael's too. I know a lot of people ask me if I made it, but no, I did not make this. I got this a few years ago at Michael's. They always have these really cute boxes. And I have a lot of my little tiny paper pads in here, and I thought that's where I had that bag of... Now tell me I've misplaced that. I'm on a roll. But anyway, I've cut a bunch of different ones out. Maybe I'll use that one on this card since I can't find my bag of them that I just had out here in my hands a few minutes ago. Well, it's got to be here somewhere. I have it in a little baggie. I cut them all out of the cards and saved them all. I misplace something, I think, every video. I get all my stuff together and then it's like, where did I put that? I don't know. Okay, anyway, I'm going to stop looking for it. So, first thing you want to do is just cut it down. Whatever size you want to make it. It doesn't matter. There's no specific size you have to do. So I just cut it out, this, you know, the truck part, and kept the season's greetings on there. And I'm going to put a backing on this. Not that you really need one, but I don't want to put my foam tape, and we're going to use this, well, this is actually called Pop Dot tape from Dollar Tree. It comes in 3 different sizes, so I'm going to use the middle size here for this, and I think that's the same size I used on the other one, isn't it? Yes, so I have a little bit left over from the ones before to do this. And the reason I'm using this stuff is because instead of foam, you can use foam too if you want to cut it out, but this is just so much easier. And I figured I'd make a card, and there goes that fire alarm every time I'm making a video. There's always something going on. But anyway, I'm going to cut a piece. I just have a bunch of scrap papers here from different paper pads. I don't remember which one came from which, but I'm just going to use red and make it, you know, like 1/4 of an inch bigger than this picture here. And I'm just going to cut that out here on my paper cutter, because I can't cut a straight line to save my life. So this thing is like a lifesaver for this kind of stuff. This is going to be my frame on the front of this one. And for this, I'm just going to take my glue stick. I like these. I like the Elmer's Craft Bond Extra Strength. These glue sticks work wonderful. And it really doesn't matter. You can use any glue stick on this, because this is not really what's going to hold this whole thing together. So I figured this would be a good way just to put this on here. And then we're just going to glue this on top of our paper here. Hopefully even-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to put our foam around, and that's what's going to actually make the nice border of this card. And you may have to trim some of this off too when you're done. But anyway, this just gives it a little extra support. I'm getting stuff all over this thing. A little extra support. You kind of want them to be really sturdy. This thing came out, it's really nice and sturdy, because you want this to be a cute little keepsake. So there, that's it. You're just going to glue that on there. And then you're going to take your pop dot tape, is what they're calling it from Dollar Tree. And we're just going to go all the way around this picture. I'm going to go just over the edge of the card, all the way to the end. And then for all of these, I don't want to use these scissors. I need different scissors here. I'm going to double up on this stuff, because some of these little beads in here are kind of big, and if I just use one layer of the foam, they're just going to get stuck in here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do this double duty here. May as well do it as we go. So pull that strip off of there, and then just put another one right on top of it. So this is going to be a nice thick frame in here to put all your goodies into. No, don't stick. There we go. Alright, then we're going to cut that off there. Try not to get stuck like I just did and try to move it, because that did not want to move. Alright, we're okay. Alright, so see, that'll be nice and thick. So that gives a lot of room for my different little beads that we're going to put in here. Then you're just going to go up the other side. I know my hand's in the way, but I kind of got to hold this up here to see. Hang on, let me just get it started. There we go. And then you're just going to roll that one up to that side, cut it off, and you can always trim any excess off the ends when you're done. And again, it does not, whoops, I didn't take the paper off. It does not have to be perfect under here, because you're never going to see this, because we're going to frame this out. And it's all hidden. So if it's not perfectly cut, like mine are not perfectly cut, but they're fine. There, did that one a little bit more careful than the first one. All right, so now we're just going to clip that off there. And then you don't want to take your protective tape off the top, because that's real sticky, and we don't want that off of there yet. All right, so now we're going to start here. And see, I didn't get it perfectly up to the edge, but it's not going to make any difference. Oops, this isn't going to be long enough. Nope. Boogers. All right, let me grab this one here. That one I used to make a couple cards earlier, so there wasn't that much left on it. All right. So now we're just going to go around here. And there goes that fire alarm. I swear, they wait until I'm making my video. Every time. It's raining again today, so there's probably car accidents or something again. It seems like every day there's just something going on. Our firefighters in this area are quite busy all day long with accidents and things. Alright. This is the longest part of the whole thing here, really, is just getting your tapes on here. Alright, but this is what's going to keep your little beads and things inside. So you kind of got to take your time and get these on here. Alright, we're almost done. We only got one more side to go here. This is the hardest one, getting it down in between here just right. And I know you wouldn't want to make these for, you know, everyone you know, because they're, I mean, you might, who knows, they're quite time consuming. But really, really cute. All right, whoops. What is it with me? I'm forgetting to take off this tape piece. And then this side I missed a little bit. It's a little bit short, so now on this one I'm going to actually start down there and make sure that that one's nice and snug. There we go. And then if it's a little short on this end, it won't make any difference, so your little goodies don't get out of there. There we go. So now we have our frame on here. Now, you're going to have to cut out a piece of your plastic, whatever plastic you use for shakers. I'm going to be using these acetate card panels. I actually ordered these on Amazon. You can get these anywhere, but these are 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and you get 20 sheets in here. I don't remember what they cost. I thought I had it written on one of these packages, but this isn't it. So I'm going to take one of your pieces and we're going to measure that here where we want it. And this is just barely going to fit. I made this a little bit too big, but that's okay. It'll work. Yeah, this one just barely fits. I just need to cut a little tiny piece off of this one. So yeah, make sure your card isn't bigger than your acetate paper. But there we go, that'll work. It'll fit just fine on there. Okay, so now we have that cut out. And we're going to want to cut out a frame for this. So I figured I'm going to use this piece of scrap paper here to make my frame. You know, like we did around to cover up your foam paper. So this is, let's see, we're just going to measure it by the card here. And cut that out on our Sizzix here. So let me just mark this with a pencil. And mark it up here. All right, so now we just need to cut that out. And now to cut your center out, you're going to have to measure around it. You can make it wider than these. You can have it stick out a little further if you want to, or whatever. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second. Where's my other line? There it is. All right. So this will be, make sure it fits right. That will be our frame for this. And if you have any pieces left over, you can trim that off at the end here with your scissors, because we're going to put some of that decorative, this stuff they had at Dollar Tree last year. They're just calling it ribbon trim. I have some of this silver here that I used on the Santa. I hope they come out with this again this year. And then I thought this one would look pretty on this card. And it's that red and silver, or gold, it's not silver, red and gold and green ribbon on there. So I thought that would be pretty for this card. Just want to make sure I got this good enough for on here. I'm not really liking it. I'm gonna have to cut another piece. But yeah, let me cut another piece real quick here, guys, because that just does not look right. Looks a little bit too small. All right, let's try that again. I don't want to start putting it together and it's just not right. And it's hard to see the pencil marks on here. There it is. All right, let me put that one over here. All right, that's better. That'll fit on there much better. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this paper over. Now this stuff here is, there's my ruler, it's about a 1/4 inch, a little over a 1/4 of an inch thick. It might be like 5/8, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6/8 of an inch, whatever, just measure it and then make this a little bit wider, your frame part. So we're going to measure in, I don't want to go too far because that up there is kind of skinny. So actually I may make this just a hair bigger. Let me mark my line here so I don't forget what I said. I'm going to actually measure from the edge there. We're going to cut this right here. So that is like 1, 2, 3. 3/8. 3/8 of an inch. So let me get this paper cutter out of here because I don't think I need that for anything else right now. So we're just going to take our ruler and we're going to mark at this 3/8 mark all the way around this thing here. And we're going to draw a line down there to mark that out. And then we're going to mark 3/8, 3/8, 3/8. And then we're just going to cut this out by hand. Whoops, that's probably too low. That's all right. And let's see. I mark mine because I'll be getting going here and then I'll forget exactly which line I was using and then get it wrong. So I like to go in and mark it. And why does that not seem to be matching up? Nope, this one's wrong up here. Okay. And that's why I like to mark it on the back in case I mess up. Because I do that a lot. All right, so now we're just gonna take our marks here and draw a line connecting all of our little dots. And there you go. And then you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut out this inside part here. And I like to use my little scissors for this. You can just kind of take this and make a big hole in the center and work your way out, which I like to do. It just makes it easier to work with if you cut this in like quarters like this. Cut it up to a corner here. There we go. And then you're just going to cut out on your line. All right, I need to slow down here. Making it crooked. There we go. All right, almost done here, guys. Then comes the fun part. Then we get to put in our goodies inside. And that's when you really start, once you get this frame on there and the goodies in there, it just all is coming together. It just looks so cute. All right, so that will be our frame for this. It's pretty close. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. All right, so that will be going on to here when this is all said and done. All right, so now what you need to do is to figure out what you want to put inside of here. So where did I throw those little things now? Here they are. These I haven't even opened yet. I did use some other ones for that one that has the big, those little bigger beads in there. And you can put all kinds of stuff in here. If you don't have these, you can just use some like sequins and some little seed beads, or I like to add a little extra seed beads because they're what really makes this thing. And I put a little extra in these because they're big. But the seed beads, but these actually have some of these bigger beads, so they'll actually make a little bit of noise. So that'll all lay at the bottom there when it's hanging. But you can spread this out while you're working on it here just to make it so it's not bulky at the bottom. All right. Then they also have these. I like these. These are the little, I don't know what they're calling these, like sequins, like little table scatter. I guess they're calling it from Dollar Tree. They have it in the red, the green, and the white. It's like a little 3-pack that you get. I put a little bit of the white in here. It does stick to the plastic a little bit, but I think that looks really cool, like snow. And it does shake off after you shake it a little bit. So I do want to add a little bit of that in here because I thought it just looked pretty. Oh, I really taped this together good. I thought it looked really pretty, like, you know, little snowflakes. So I'm going to have to cut another hole in here because I really glued that back together. I don't want too much. The last time I dumped way too much, so we're not going anywhere near this card until I get it on my finger. Maybe a little bit more, not much. There we go. I like the way that stuff looks. Now let me grab my tape before I dump all this on the table. There we go. I need some little Ziploc bags for that. And then I have a whole box here, all these different seed beads that I've collected over the years. I might throw a few of these little silver ones in here this time. These just make a nice noise when you shake it. These little seed beads. And you can get seed beads anywhere. You can sometimes find them at Dollar Tree, but you can always find them at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or anywhere like that. But I've had these for years and years, so I'm not sure where I got any of them from at this point, because I think I've had some of these seed beads probably 20 years when I used to do jewelry and stuff many, many years ago. All right, so now we have that in there. Now we're going to take our little piece over here, and now we're going to peel off our tape. If it wants to come off. There we go. Let me get my little garbage can over here so I'm not heaving everything on the floor. So, whoops, why is this not wanting to come off here nice today? Why? Because I'm doing a video. There we go. And be careful you don't stick your fingers to it, because you'll pop all your stuff out of there, because boy, I've done, and see I just did it now. I've done that where I've got my finger stuck on it and pulled my finger up and popped everything right out of it. Alright, there we go. Now we have that off of there, and we need our little clear acetate paper, and hopefully get this in the right spot. Yeah, I went over a little bit too far with it. That's okay, as long as that met up there where it's supposed to, we'll be good to go. Alright, so now you have all your little things sealed in here, and that is what it'll look like if somebody wants to shake it up a little bit. Alright, so now most of this is going to stick onto a lot of this foam tape that we already put on here. But I am going to add, I'm going to use some of this Beacon 3-in-1 glue. You can use any glue you have. We're just going to glue this on top. It's just a decorative piece. It's not like any major thing. Come on, glue. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this. Whoa, that was a lot of this. Just to hold our frame on there. Now I need to get rid of that big blop that I put on there. Paper towel. There we go. Just got way too much in that one corner there. I don't want it to all ooze out on me. All right, so now we're ready to put down our frame. And there you go, there's your frame. Easy peasy. That just finishes that up really nice. I am gonna have to trim a little bit off the top here because it's sticking up too far. But let's see, we'll get that on there nice. Some of my foam right there is sticking up a little bit too far, so I think I may have to trim a little bit of that out of there. Let me grab my scissors here. I don't know if I'll be able to do it this way. I think that'll be fine once we get our other stuff on here. There we go. All right, so that is that. So now you can go ahead, you can put your decorative trim on here if you want. You can use whatever you have. It doesn't have to be this stuff. You can use ribbon. You can even use washi tape. I'm thinking if you had like a wide washi tape that would, you know, go around the whole edge of it too. That would be very easy to do, but I'm just going to hot glue on some of this stuff here, I'm hoping it's going to cover up that boo-boo I made up on the top, because it doesn't quite fit. Where are my finger protectors? You're going to need finger protectors for this or something, or just be very careful. But this stuff like unravels. So I trimmed the end of it off there a little bit and just add a little bit of hot glue and just kind of spin it around with my finger protectors just to seal that so it doesn't unravel on you. So give it a good squeeze there. And then we're just going to cut that off. And there you go, it's all sealed together nice. So I'm just going to start up here on the top. Make sure this thing's nice and straight. We're just going to go, I think I'll start in the middle here, and we are just going to glue this right to this seam, and that covers up all that stuff. This is really easy to do. It's not hard at all. It's a little time consuming if you don't mind spending the time making them, but I think they are just such a nice little thing to give to someone, you know, especially because you can write your little message on there and, you know, the year that you gave it to them and stuff. And I think that's just really nice. But this just finishes that off nicely so you don't have that raw looking edge. And it pretty much covers most of it. You could put another round on there if you wanted to. But I think one will be just fine. Alright, now we're just going to go down this edge here. You might want to use your finger protectors for this too. I think my fingers are pretty much half dead by now because I've burned up so many times with glue guns. There we go, that covers that up. Alright, now we're just going to go down this edge. Almost there. Like I said, if you want to go another round, because you could see it a little bit from the back, but I don't mind that so much. That's okay. As long as the front is nice and clear. Now this one I'm going to measure here, and I'm going to cut this off so we can go ahead and add a little bit of glue in there to get that so it doesn't unravel any more than it already is. Now, put my finger protectors. Just want to give that a twist. Alright, now the glue should be alright to touch. And I make a mess when I'm crafting. I have so much stuff all over the place in this room right now. It's absolutely crazy. Alright, so that's good. We're just going to trim that right there. And then we're just going to glue that down. Oh, might have to take a little more off of there. See, I'm gluing my fingers again, but it's not that hot because I let it sit for a second. But don't do that at home. Don't burn yourselves at home, please. Alright, so there, whoops, let me get some of this off of here. Yeah, that side, I should have trimmed that down a little bit more, but I think it'll be okay. We're just going to add a little more glue down in there and pull this a little forward. And I think it will be fine. There we go. I didn't cut that quite even, my foam. Alright, so there is that part of your card. Now, you want to flip it over, find yourself a sentiment to put in there. From festive fun to your favorite pastime, wishing you all the joy of the season. So why don't we, or maybe this one is a nice big one. Is that the one from inside this card? I don't think so. I don't know where it went. Where'd you go? Oh no, what was on the side of this card was too big. That's why I didn't use that sentiment. This came from a different card. Like I said, you can use whatever, but that would be pretty back there too. So I'm just going to make a little bit of a border. Maybe I'll use the same paper I used on that one. Or not, because I don't have enough of it. trying to use up all my scraps here. Do I have enough from the front piece? Yes. All right, so we'll just make a little frame from this piece that I had left over from the front frame. All right, let's move him back here. And I'm just going to measure this so it's just a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to need my paper cutter back. See, I didn't think I was going to need it anymore, but I need it for one more minute. So I'm just going to measure this like about 1/8 of an inch bigger than the sentiment piece here. Just to frame this in a little bit. All right, let me grab this back here. And we'll cut that out. And another little line. All right, that should be good, I hope. And then this will just go right in here like so. That's not trimmed very nice. There we go, that looks better. All right, so that will go right in there like so. Just so it'll frame it out so it's not just glued onto the back. Why is that so off? I'm gonna have to cut a different piece. Anyway, maybe I'll just use this red paper here. I don't know what I did, but it's not fitting right. I'll cut this out again here in a second. Maybe it might be this piece. My old paper cutter was cutting on an angle. I should probably check this and recut it. So that's what I'll do. Let me check this thing. I'm going to recut this since I got my nice new cutter here, which is cutting perfectly. And I think this is really, really off. So let me get those two pieces cut out and then I'll show you from there. All right, I got that cut out now. Yeah, this was a little off. I had to straighten this out. So I'm just going to take my glue stick and glue this on the back here. This will go onto here. There we go. And if you do end up getting some of this glue stick on here, if you have one of these erasers, like one of these white high polymer erasers, I get these at Dollar Tree too. I love these because you can get rid of a lot of little things, especially like excess glue stick or something. Well, this will take it right off. You need to wait for it to dry though. But I use these things all the time when I make my boo-boos, which we all make the boo-boos. All right. So now this is going to go on the back here, but first we want to, see now my back is red. Look what I did. It's red on red on red on red. It's fine. What was I thinking? I was thinking the backing was the same as this stuff. All right, well, you know what? I can fix this. All right, I'm going to get another piece of green paper and we're going to put it over the top of that. But first, we are going to take this. I think I'm going to use this one. This I got from Dollar Tree too. It's just cotton twine. It's called 100% cotton. And I think this will be nice to make a little hanger for this one here. All right, now to find the end of that's another trick. All right, so let me find the end of this thing here, and oh, here it is. I'm going to cut out another piece of, I think, maybe a green paper, or maybe I'll just find my other sentiments and change this all together, because that's just not going to work. I don't know what I was, well, like I said, I was thinking it was this color. All right, let me do that. I will be right back. All right, I just cut out a piece of white cardstock. That will solve this whole problem here. I was going to do green, I don't know why, but I think the white will look better. All right, so now you see this is a step you won't have to do because you guys are all going to use the right color on your thing the first time. Oh, whatever, it'll be fine. Okay, so there we go. Now we have this all framed out and this will go right here in the center. Not leaving you a lot of room to write on this one. So, but like I said, you could just write a little to, from, put a date on here for whoever, and make sure I got this the right way. All right, so now you're going to want to put your string on here. So I just kind of guesstimate, which is probably not another good thing to do, but where I want this string and how long I want it. But you don't need it too long, just enough so you can hang it. So I kind of like to just glue these in place a little bit with a little glue stick here, just to kind of hold it just a little bit for me until I'm ready to glue this piece on. So let's see. Here's my little handy dandy ruler. So that was about 1 3/4. So we're going to go and mark this here so I'm at least somewhat 1 3/4, right? Yes. Okay, so we're going to glue this little guy down right over here. Temporary glue here. All right, so that hopefully will be nice and centered. And now you're going to take your pretty framed sentiment that you have for the inside of your card. This I'm going to use some of this Beacon 3-in-1 just to make sure this has a good hold over top of this hanger that we have on here. And you can add a little bit of this on your things here to make sure they're going to stay in place. There we go. Perfect. Easy peasy. So yeah, I just put one side on, measured it, and then put the other string on at the same distance. And then this is what's going to cover up those ends. So we're going to take our sentiment card here. You can put it up higher. I'm going to try to center this for the most part, I think. I think that looks pretty good there. So then you're just going to push that down over top of your thing. Now we're going to have to wait for that to dry. It's a little crooked. Gives you a little bit of time to move it around when you use that beacon. All right, I think that's good right there. So while that's drying there, we're going to flip this over. I think this is cute. Look how cute that is. All right, so I used some of these snowflakes. These I got at Dollar Tree last year too. I was digging through my stash, and they're actually sticker snowflakes, and these are the clear ones. They had blue ones, and I don't remember what other colors they had right off the bat, but I just take these little snowflakes because they're real pretty, and I actually pop that little dot off of there because I'm afraid they will not hold very well. And I add just a little dot of hot glue, and we're going to put one of those on each corner just to give it a little something. Oops, that one's broken. I'm going to need another one out of here. I really like these. I hope they have these again this year because I think this is my last bag of the clear ones that I have. And I just think they look cute on the corners. Or whatever you have. I mean, you don't have to use this kind. You can use whatever you want. But I love these snowflakes. I do have some white ones that I ordered from AliExpress too that I use on a lot of things. But I figured I'm going to use up some of these Dollar Tree ones that I have. Pull that little sticky dot off of there. Add a little hot glue. And I actually put 2 on the back of that one. I mean, if you want to do that one, that too, that would be fine. And there you go. You have your little cards. Sorry, I got a glue web here I'm trying to catch. Where'd you go? There it is. Oh, well, I'll pick that off later. There's a web going right across this thing. I can feel it, but I can't get a hold of it. Oh, wait. Is that it? Nope, it's still there. I'll get it. But anyway, that is it. And then if you wanted to, you could put a couple of those snowflakes on the back here. But what a cute little gift to give to somebody. And I think that would be great. And then they can hang it up or they can hang it on the tree. I don't want to hold this yet because it's still wet, the glue. But isn't that cute? And then it has that lovely shake, which makes it fun for the whole family. You can walk up and shake it every now and again. And see how some of those little flakes stick on there? But if you tap them, they do fall off. So I think they're fun to have in there too. But that is it. That is my little project for today. Was making these little shaker ornament keepsakes, whatever. I don't know. I'll figure out what I'm going to call it by the time I'm done with this video. But it's just a fun little shaker card. Let's put it that way. And like I said, just write whatever you want, date it, whatever, and then somebody has something really cute to keep. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this little project, and I will see you guys all next time. Have a great day, everyone.